All right, YouTube, it's Mr. Mean bringing you the second video du jour of RPG goodness. I'm sitting at home. The wife is at work. She started her new job today, and I did my first video, and it just got the juices flowing again, as the old saying goes, and I'm all riled up and excited, and I have a couple of game books with me. Everything else is in storage, but one of the things I picked up a couple of days ago, actually about a week ago, was Shadowrun, Howling Shadows. Now, those of you that have followed my channel for a while, you know I bag on Shadowrun quite a bit because I don't like the game mechanics. Can't stand them. Not my game. But world setting, quality of books, art, layout, production quality of the books, spot on, 100%, 5 stars all across the board. I love the direction that Shadowrun has gone over the years. I've been following it since first edition. I still have my softback first edition book that's all mangled because we played the hell out of it. And we hated the rules back then, and I hate them now. But that being said, this is Catalyst Games Lab now owns the right, which I believe is part of Topps, if I remember correctly. Or Topps owns the rights. Yeah, Topps Company. 2016 copyright, Topps, the guys that make baseball and football cards. This is the book. So this is Howling Shadows. This is basically the core critter handbook. This weighs in at 200 pages, pretty much full color art throughout the book, high glossy pages. The inside and the front have this very cool picture of, I don't know what that is, some big fish with teeth. But this is good stuff right here. If you're playing Shadowrun or you're playing any kind of dystopian future where you need critters and you need some great ideas, this is a solid book to get. It weighed in at a whopping $49.99. This is a rant I go on all the time, and I'm going to do it again. Game books are too damn expensive. And what do I mean by that? This is 200 pages. It's a hardback book. It's pretty solid. It's pretty awesome. There's nothing wrong with it. But the fact that it's 50 bucks, half of a C note, for something that really only a GM is going to use, I think that's overpriced. It's nothing. That's not a bag against Catalyst. A lot of game companies are doing it now. And I just think the game price is too high. I think Modiphius is another one. I love their products, but I think their game books are too expensive. $70 for a game book, $64.95, $65. It's too expensive. And I understand the printing cost and everything is going up, and you know, paper and all that fine stuff. But there are alternative means, recycled paper. You know, a lot of these companies are printing in China, which I think is a shame because we're taking work away from Americans and Canadians. You know, Canada ain't doing nothing, or China is not doing anything for us except making money off of us. And I think we need to bring a lot of this printing back into the U.S. So that's just my rant on that. I don't want to get into a political debate or anything like that. This is 200 pages, written by Kevin Cernecki and Patrick Goodman and a whole host of others. They did a great job. I haven't read it cover to cover, but I've gone through it quite a bit. I've enjoyed what I've read. I'm pleasantly surprised with the critters. They give you a nice stat block and a lot of good information. Like, let's see, here we go. This is what a stat block looks like, and you can freeze this if you're watching it later. There's a Loup Garou, which is kind of like a werewolf or whatever in the Shadowrun world, and that's a stat block that gives you everything you need to know right there. I mean, it's really well done. There's a lot of good information in here. The book is, like I said, it's hardback. It's stitched and glued on the inside. I don't think this is going to come apart anytime soon. I've got a number of Catalyst books, Shadowrun books from Catalyst Games Lab, and I don't think any of them are falling apart. I think they've all held up pretty well to the test of time. My hair is just not playing nice, guys. Sorry. This has got all the good stuff you need. The little blurb on the back, like I always do. I'll read it off. Gangers, Corp, Security, Mr. Johnson, Organized Crime, other Shadowrunners. Running in the Sixth World does not exactly lack for obstacles. but only foolish runners worry solely about metahuman opponents. There are plenty of other ways the world can kill you, from throat-ripping matricores to blood-sucking chupacabras, from the aggressive gamma spider to the swarming harpy. While most runners would be happy to simply avoid these threats, it's not always possible. Critters may be used as security. They may swarm in abandoned areas runners must investigate, or they may carry valuable regents runners need. Some of them may even hold the keys to unlocking the sort of powers runners covet. Howling Shadows is the critter sourcebook for Shadowrun 5th edition, with a broad range of critters for every habitat. The book has plot hooks that show how critters may be used in campaigns, details on new critter powers, and other information to flesh out Shadowrun adventures and campaigns. Sink your teeth into this one and see how untamed the Sixth World can be. Howling Shadows is for use with Shadowrun 5th edition. I will say I read the section on plot hooks and how critters can be used for your runs. Really cool. Gave me some great ideas. In fact, I'm going to be using one of these, some of the plot points or plot ideas that they throw in here for my D&D campaign that I'm running. So, yes, very, very cool. Very, very cool. I mean, the quality of the present, you can see nice high gloss. You can see the shine there. I mean, the back, very well done, as always. All kinds of critters in here. We'll just, the art, of course, is fantastic. A good introduction, good fiction as well. One of the things I've come to really like about Catalyst Games is the little blurbs of fiction they put in. Is really well done. So we go through, of course, as a monster manual for Shadowrun. You've got your normal adversaries, you've got your fantastical and your magical and your spiritual creatures in here. Harpies, gargoyles, jaggernaut. They even give genus and species names for what it's worth. So you can really go with this stuff. Greater Wolverine, which is a Gulo Impi. Terrain is forest, diet omnivore, activity diurnal, aggro index. That's the other cool thing about this. They even give it from an in-character point of view of what they call an aggro index, meaning how violent or how aggressive is this critter, and so it goes from 0 to 10, and so like the Gulo Impi, or the Greater Wolverine, is a 9.6. So basically, don't fuck with this guy. Length and height, 2 meters. Mass, 110 kilograms. And of course, one of the cool things they do is they give you, like all Shadowrun books do this, little blurbs from like people have hacked into supposedly the data sheet that you're reading, and they give you some first-hand experiences, or could just be hyperbole. It's pretty funny. Just neat stuff. Just good stuff. So if you like a little bit of that dark humor thrown in there with your monster manual stats, it's a good thing. Like, I don't know about you, but I don't know what this thing is. It's a Soul Eater Leech. Soul Eater Leech. I don't want to run into that in an alley or in a corporate security sector or in a warehouse. I don't want to run into that because I don't know. That's nasty. This thing is, it comes out of fresh water. It's a carnivore with a question mark. Activity is any. Aggro index, 10. Length, 0.05 meters. Mass, 0.01 kilograms. So this thing has... is nasty. And they say all kinds of things. Initiative is 2 plus a 1d6, so it's relatively slow. If you know Shadowrun stats, and these will mean something to you. Let's see. Condition monitor 1/9. Limits physical 2, mental 2, social 4. 0 armor. Perception 6. Sneaking 4. Swimming 1. Unarmed combat 1. Powers. This is where it gets ugly. Enhanced senses, smell, energy drain, essence, immunity, toxins, natural weapon, bite. Damage value is 1, I think it's stun, and its armor piercing it doesn't have any. Weaknesses, allergy, salt, severe, because We all know what you do to leeches. You pour salt on them. Fragile 8, reduce senses sight, and note -2 to reach. So this thing basically latches onto you, and then it just f's you up. So, but it's pretty nasty. So there's a lot of cool things in here, just littered with fiction in each new chapter. Um, the section creating drakes is really cool. You can make your own dragon. Uh, just because dragons are like one of the big things in the fifth world, and so this is kind of a cool thing. They give a huge expose on dragons and a section on how to augment critters, because those of us who have read the Shadowrun novels know about the cyber wolves and cyber dogs that they do, and there's just they go into all the special abilities of any of the powers that the critters will have. So if you're a Shadowrun fan and you don't have this book, this is a buy in Mr. Mean's opinion. Like I said, I don't run Shadowrun. I have no desire to run Shadowrun, but I love the world. I love the game, and I love the setting. It's a very evocative setting for me. I love the cyberpunk genre, and unfortunately, Cyberpunk 2020 died a horrible death. We're getting a new computer game by Project Red, the same guys that did The Witcher. So I'm definitely looking forward to that, and I will be playing that as soon as it comes to like one of the consoles. But as far as a tabletop role-playing game, Interface Zero is my cyberpunk du jour. With this, I won't run this. It's just not a game that I want to run. I don't like the mechanics. I would play it though. If somebody was going to run it, I would sit down at the table and I would play it because it is a fun game. It's just the mechanics for GMing are not for me. It's just not my cup of tea. But it's a great game, and like I said, it plays well if you're into it, which is always awesome. You can't beat that. So you just gotta do what you gotta do. My hair is just not playing nice, and I'm a hair bearer. I apologize, but it's just one of those things that it is what it is. So, in closing, great source book. If you're playing in a Shadowrun campaign, check with your GM first before you buy it. He may be using stuff from here, and you may not need to know that information. So always a good call to check with your GM before you buy a setting book like this, because this is more of a GM book. Players don't need this. If your GM has it, you always can ask him, hey, can I look at it? Because maybe you're going to get a companion, a cyber dog or a bird or something like that you could cyber up, and you could do like that. And this has a lot of that good information in there for that kind of stuff. So I highly recommend it for the Shadowrun GMs out there, or for any GM that's running a cyber fantasy or cyberpunk type game. This is a good source book. A lot of good information. A lot of the critters in here would be really good in like a game like Numenera, because of that. So far in the future, it's in the past kind of deal. So this would be a good game for that, or a good source book for that as well. So that's what I think about Shadowrun Howling Shadows. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Just to recap, 200 pages, written by Kevin Cernecki and Patrick Goodman. Several others. There's several. I just didn't want to write them all down. Glossy color throughout the book. Typical Catalyst Games Lab production quality. You won't be disappointed with the quality of the book. The quantity of critters in here is quite a bit. I mean, if you've read any of the Shadowrun novels, you will recognize some of these things because a lot of it was in novels. So definitely worth picking up. Again, like I said, in my opinion, it's a buy. Check it out. Also, I have a Discord channel. I'll put the link in the video here when I upload it. Go ahead and click on that. Please like and subscribe. It helps me out a lot. I also have a Pay Me account from PayPal there if you want to donate some money to help the channel out. It's always much appreciated. If you're a game designer or game publisher and you want your game featured here on Mr. Mean Speaks, the musings of a misanthrope GM, feel free to send me an email at jpolak@gmail.com. I'll put that link in the notes as well. And, everything, as always, peace, love, and happiness. And remember, Mr. Mean says, be nice.